So I was talking with a friend of mine just now, and I was sharing with them how I noticed that there seems to be this wave of young Christians, and not just young Christians, but of Christians who are getting on social media and just exploding, and how it just seems to be this wave of the spirit of these people just blowing up and sharing the word of God. And then it hit me that we are in a time right now where the harvest is ripe and the harvest is plentiful, and there's people whose ears are itching to hear the word of God. Their hearts are positioned in a place where they are ready to hear the word of God. They are hungry for the word of God. And right now, I encourage any of you who are considering whatever ministry it is that God has put you into, or those who are just think that they're ordinary people, when God is putting a word in your spirit to speak, whether you're on social media or whether you are passing by somebody in the grocery store and God is telling you to speak, you ought to speak. The harvest is ripe. The harvest is ready. People's hearts are in a place where they are hungry to hear the word of God. They are hungry to hear the word of God. So if God is speaking to you, do not be afraid to open up your mouth and share what it is that He is telling you to share. The harvest is ripe, the harvest is plentiful, and the laborers are few. Will you be one of God's laborers today? Will you be one of the ones who God can entrust with a word to speak to the nations? Can He entrust you with a word to go speak to that individual who needs it? People are hungry for the word of God. And that is why there's so many people who are getting on social media who are just blowing up right like that. People are just exploding. People who were not known just a couple of years ago are exploding on social media because the harvest is ripe and people are hungry. They're hungry for the word of God and they are ready to receive Him. And it's not a group of righteous, holy saints who are ready to hear the word of God. It's the people who are the lost sheep. It's a group of people who have been lost and are ready to be found. And it's a group of people in places that we are not expecting them to come out from. It's a group of people who are coming out who we are like, never would have thought that this person would come to Christ or come to Jesus, but these people, their hearts are ready to receive the word of God. So if God is putting a message inside of you to speak, whether you are speaking on a large platform, whether you are speaking behind closed doors, one-on-one with an individual, whether you are in the Walmart, wherever you are, even if you're working at your job and you have a client or a customer or a coworker who you are working with and God speaks to you, or God is encouraging you to say something to them, speak. Speak. God needs people who are going to do His will and to do His work. God gave the fivefold ministries, apostles, prophet, evangelist, pastor, teacher, to build up the saints for the work of the ministry. Whether you are His saints, whether you are His fivefold ministry, you need to be seeking the will of God. And whatever He is putting on your heart to do, you need to make sure that you're doing it. Do not allow fear or terror or judgment or condemnation or whatever it is that might keep you back from speaking the word of God. Do not allow it to keep your mouth shut. Satan's only goal is to keep you quiet. If he can keep you quiet, he can very well take that person's life who God is trying to use you to minister to. He can take their life. He's trying to pick people off one by one. And we cannot let that happen. If God is putting a word in your heart, I encourage you today to speak it.